Promises. Promises. What promises have you made throughout your life? Well, there would be so many for most of you that you couldn't recall them all. I know that's true for me. There are so many that I've made that you lose count. What I haven't lost count of, though, as I've grown older, are the promises that I've not kept. I remember most of them, if not all of them, which is an interesting phenomenon. I thought I was a little weird until I started asking the people around me, and lots of people said the same thing. Partly, I think the reason we remember them is because promises are so powerful. They're such a powerful part of who we are. They are deeply a part of our stories. And they are a significant part of the story of Jews and Christians. I want to direct you then to Jeremiah today, which I think is the singular most important passage in the Old Testament for Christians. I do not say that lightly. Jeremiah, and what is he talking about? The covenant of God, but I want you to drop that word away and pick up the word that it means. The promise of God. The promise that we have in and with God. All right, you're going to do some work, so get this sheet out. All right, so the first promise that God makes to his people in the Old Testament is at the top of that page. And it ought to tell you what the story is because you get a little thing to give you a little clue. What's the clue? It's a rainbow. So where did the first promise come? It came with Noah. Remember the story? The water floods the earth. We even have a hymn that we sing. And what does God say at the end of that? I will never do this again. I will never punish like this again. Never, ever. And you will be my people. Simply that. A promise that I will always be with you. I will be your God. And so when the people would see a rainbow, they would remember what? God. So the next one is at the bottom of the page. And what is that? One of the nebulae from one of the telescopes. 1 billion miles from here, I think. But that promise was made to whom? To Abraham. Remember, he goes and finds Abraham, and where's Abraham living? We know now that it was in modern-day Iraq, Iran. And he goes and says, I know you're old and Sarah's old, but let's what? You've always wanted a baby, you're going to have a baby. Of course, he goes home and tells Sarah. Sarah's 9 years old. She falls out of the tent laughing. Abe, you're senile. Get out of here. We're not having a baby. What happens? They have a baby. So that's the second, then, renovation. So this promise, though, is what? Do you remember the refrain? Why is the stars? I will make you a father of many nations. Multitude of people. As numerous as the stars in the sky. So you got the rainbow and stars in the sky. But the second addition of this covenant now comes with one more little piece. I will be your God, but you will be my people. It's relational. I accept you, you accept me, and then there's this way that we live to show our acceptance of this relationship. And now we come to today's passage. And today's passage is embodied by the shape of this picture. And what is it? It's a heart. And what does Jeremiah tell us of this covenant? He says it this way. This God of the universe, who is your God, I will be your God, you will be my people, now is going to take symbolically these 10 commandments that were stone and put them inside of you. Get the image. They're out here, now they're in here. They're out here, now they're inside of us. I will be your God, you will be my people. But now it's something deeper. Because the 10 commandments represent what? A way of life. But more importantly, they represent for the Jew God. Nothing less than that. That's why they are so important, why they work so hard to keep the law. They represent God alive. So Jeremiah is saying in a colloquial way, what? This God that is alive is now alive in you. This God is alive in you. God's heart, The very heart of Judaism is in your heart. God's heart is in your heart. And that's where we arrived this morning. Regardless of where you have been, I am your God, and you are my people. Forgiveness always. You will always have it. You will always be coming back to me. I will always be with you. No doubt. No doubt. That is the heart of Christian theology. That is the center of what we preach or should be preaching that the world needs to hear. And I wonder if today, maybe this week, we are reminded to reconnect, to renew with those that we have made a promise, with those that we have loved and do love, and to remind them too that they are always in us. We are always in them. Amen.